Hidden beneath layers of time, mystery, and legend lies one of the most infamous stories in human history, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. The very names of these cities have become synonymous with corruption, sin, and divine judgment. But beyond the fire and brimstone, what is the real story? Did these cities actually exist? If so, where? And why were they destroyed? What truly happened on that fateful day when fire rained from the heavens? Join us as we embark on a journey into the past, unraveling the real Sodom and Gomorrah, the truth, the myths, and the terrifying warning that still echoes today. Long before their destruction, Sodom and Gomorrah were among the most prosperous cities in the ancient world. Nestled within the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley, they were part of the Pentapolis, a group of 5 cities that flourished in trade, agriculture, and wealth. The region was described as being like the garden of the Lord, meaning it was well-watered, abundant in crops, and rich in resources. Merchants traveled far and wide to do business in these cities. Shepherds brought their flocks to graze in the lush fields. Wealth and comfort were common, but while prosperity increased, so did wickedness, injustice, and corruption. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah turned away from morality and righteousness, indulging in greed, pride, and depravity. They became known for their arrogance, cruelty, and disregard for human dignity. And worst of all, they had completely rejected God. Sodom wasn't just a city known for its wealth, it was infamous for its lawlessness. The rich exploited the poor. Justice was twisted in favor of the powerful, the vulnerable. Widows, orphans, and travelers were abused rather than protected. Moral corruption was rampant and wickedness was celebrated. Ancient Jewish traditions even suggest that Sodom had laws prohibiting acts of kindness. One story tells of a girl who was punished simply for offering food to a poor traveler. The people of Sodom had gone beyond mere sin. They had embraced evil as a way of life. And for that, their time was running out. Far away in the hills of Canaan, Abraham, the great patriarch of Israel, had just finished entertaining 3 mysterious visitors, angels disguised as men. One of them, believed to be the angel of the Lord, revealed shocking news. Sodom and Gomorrah were going to be destroyed. But Abraham wasn't just a man of faith. He was a man of compassion. He knew that his nephew Lot lived in Sodom, and he couldn't bear the thought of innocent people perishing. So he pleaded with God, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city?" God agreed. If 50 righteous people could be found, the city would be spared. But Abraham, knowing the level of corruption, bargained further. What if there are 45, 40, 30, 20, 10? Each time, God agreed. But not even 10 righteous people could be found in Sodom. The judgment was set. The cities were doomed. That night, 2 angels in human form arrived at the gates of Sodom. Lot, who was sitting at the entrance, saw them and immediately urged them to stay at his home for the night. He knew the horrors that lurked in the streets after dark. Sure enough, before they could sleep, a violent mob of men surrounded Lot's house, demanding that he bring out the visitors so they could abuse them. Lot, in a desperate attempt to protect his guests, offered them his own daughters instead. But before the mob could act, the angels struck them blind, leaving them confused and unable to find the door. Then the angels turned to Lot and his family and said, "Get out! The city is about to be destroyed." As dawn broke, Lot, his wife, and their 2 daughters fled from the city. But even as they ran, Lot hesitated. He had spent years in Sodom, built a life there, and now everything he owned was being left behind. The angels physically dragged them out of the city, urging them, "Run for your lives. Don't stop. Don't look back." And then it happened. From the heavens, fire and sulfur rained down upon Sodom and Gomorrah. The once great cities were obliterated in an instant. Buildings collapsed. The fertile land was scorched. The entire region was reduced to smoldering ruins, unrecognizable from its former glory. Everything, its people, wealth, and history, was consumed in divine fire. As Lot and his family fled, something tragic happened. Lot's wife, overcome by sorrow and attachment to the past, turned around to look at the burning city. Instantly, she was turned into a pillar of salt. a haunting symbol of disobedience and longing for a sinful past. Even today, near the Dead Sea, a pillar-like rock formation is known as Lot's wife, standing as a chilling reminder of this story. The land where Sodom and Gomorrah once stood became a wasteland, believed to be buried beneath the southern Dead Sea. Archaeologists have discovered high levels of sulfur and burnt rock in the region, evidence of a catastrophic event. Could this be proof of the biblical destruction? Whether symbolic or literal, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah remains one of the most powerful warnings in history. A reminder that no civilization, no matter how wealthy, is immune to judgment. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah is not just an ancient story, it's a lesson for all generations. It is a warning against corruption, moral decay, and the consequences of rejecting righteousness. Even today, historians, theologians, and scientists search for evidence of these lost cities. But whether or not they find physical proof, the story lives on. Because the message is clear: no kingdom, no nation, and no people can stand forever if they turn away from what is right. For more Bible content, remember to subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell.